Chapter 9 is all about transformations. We've got reflections, translations, and rotations, and dilations we're going to talk about in this chapter. For Lesson 1 on reflections, you will need a ruler, a highlighter, a pencil, and a different colored pen, just to make drawing these images a lot easier for me to grade. So, in example 1, we're going to draw a reflected image of this quadrilateral using a ruler. So we're going to take our handy dandy ruler, and we're going to be with the inches side, and we're going to take one of our points, let's say point W, and we want to align our ruler so it's perpendicular to our line P. I know that it's perpendicular because I take this inch mark and I line it up along the line of reflection. And I'm just going to take my pencil and lightly sketch a line so that it's perpendicular. Okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure this line in inches. And I see that it's about 1/4 of an inch long. So on the other side of my line, along this sketched line I drew, I'm going to measure 1/4 inch away from line P and label it W prime. Okay? I'm going to erase this other part past my W prime because I don't need that. I'm going to do the same thing here with point X. Line it up, sketch your little line. Okay, now let's measure it. And it is about 3/4 of an inch long. So on the other side, I'm going to measure 3/4 of an inch. Put a dot, label it X prime. Let's do the same thing with W. Line it up. Draw a sketch. Okay, let's measure it. And this one is about 1 1/8 inches. Yes, you need to be precise. So I'm going to measure 1 1/8 inches. Label it. Let's come down here to Z. And let's sketch this one. And let's measure it. And it's about 5/8 of an inch long. And so 5/8 over here. Label it. And now I'm going to connect the dots. Remember, it goes W, X, Y, Z. So W to X, just like connect the dots when you were little, to Y to Z. And what you have is a perfect image that is the exact same as what was drawn, reflected across the line. It is equidistant from my line. Think of this as a mirror, okay? So you will need to use your ruler and use precision, okay? All right, example 2. People use this concept all the time if they play a sport called billiards, which is where, like pool, it's on a pool table and you shoot the balls into the pockets. But unlike pool, you have to bounce it off of a wall first before it goes in the pocket. So here's my cue ball, and I need to bounce it somewhere along here in order for it to come into the pocket. So in order to ensure that it goes in the pocket, I want it to probably go in the middle. So I'm going to use the concept of reflection to get a perfect shot. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to measure this side, and it's about 1 inch. Okay? I'm going to come over here at the end, and I'm going to draw a segment 1 inch long, as if my side A is a mirror. Okay, so here's where the middle of the pocket would be if this side was a mirror. I'm going to take my cue ball. From the bottom of the cue ball, I'm going to connect it to my B prime point over here. Straight line. Where it crosses side A is point C. That's where I want to hit the ball, because when I hit it here, it's going to bounce in the reflection of this line, and it's going to go right in that pocket, and I will have a perfect shot. Okay, example 3. I'll give you some time to plot those points. Make sure you label them. And this is where you're going to want to use different colors, your colored pen and your highlighter. Off to the side over here, I'm going to write down what my points are. And I would like you to do the same. Because even though you're going to have a graph, it's always easier for me to just check where your points are. And we're going to reflect this image. So we're going to have a J prime, a K prime, an L prime, and an M prime to be the image that we've reflected. So with my highlighter, I'm going to use it to draw my line of reflection x equals 1. So think about what type of line that is. It's an equation, so it's a vertical line at 1. So right here, here's my mirror. X equals 1. Okay, now I'm going to take my pen, or you can use a colored pencil or whatever, just a different color, and we're going to reflect it. So here's my mirror. If point M is 1 unit away to the left, if I reflect it, it's going to be 1 unit away to the right. What point is that? That's the point 2, 1. Okay, let's do L. L is 1 unit away down here on the right, so if I reflect it, it's going to be 1 unit away on the left. So that's the point 0, -1. K is 1, 2, 3 units away, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3 units. And that's the point 1, 2, -2, -2. And let's do point J. J is 1 unit away, so 1 unit away. Connect them. That is the point 0, 1, 2, 3. There's our image, and you'll see it looks exactly the same, just flipped around. Okay, turn the page. Go ahead and draw JKLM again. It's the same shape, but now we're going to reflect it in the line y equals -2. So if you need to draw it, take some time, pause the video, and draw it. And the line y equals -2 is down here. It's horizontal. There's my mirror. Oops. Okay, so same thing. Let's take our points and let's write them on the side. J is 2, 3. K, 3, 2, L, 2, -1, and M, 0, 1. Alright, let's reflect it. Get your pen out. And let's see. L is 1 unit away from our mirror, so it's going to go 1 unit down, right down here. That is the point 2, -3. M is 4 units away, so it's going to go 4 units down. Oops, sorry, 3 units. It's going to go right there. So our point there is 0, -5. Okay, let's look at point K. It is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 down. And that is the point 3, -6. And then last but not least, let's do J. J is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So count down from our mirror. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's the point 2, -7. So we have the same exact image, it's just flipped down. Okay, let's try example 4. We have different points. So let's graph these. A is 1, 1. B is 3, 2. C is 4, -1. And D is 2, -3. Okay, again, we're going to come over to the side and write our points down. So that way we can write down what happened to them. Alright, this time we're reflecting it in the x-axis. So the x-axis is this line right here. So let's reflect it. Point A is 1 unit above, so we're going to go 1 unit down. That is the point 1, -1. B is 2 units up, so we're going to go 2 units down. And that is the point 3, -2. C is 1 unit down, so in our image we're going to go 1 unit up. And that is the point 4, 1. D is 3 units down, so we're going to go 3 units up. And you can see why using a different color is helpful for your teacher. Alright, so let's look at what happened here. What do you notice about your pre-image and your image points, especially with your y values? You reflected in the x, so you changed the y. So, if I have any point, I change my y value to be negative. That's a rule we're going to remember. Reflecting in the x-axis. Remember that rule. Okay, letter B, we're going to take the same quadrilateral, but now we're going to reflect it over the y-axis. There's my mirror. Again, let's write down our points. A is 1, 1. B, 3, 2. C, 4, -1. And D, 2, -3. Let's see what happens this time. My image will be somewhere over here. So if point A is 1 unit away from the y-axis, A prime is 1 unit away. B is 3 units, so 1, 2, 3 units to the left. C is 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4 units. D is 2. D is 2. Okay, let's write down our points. A prime is -1, 1. B prime, -3, 2. C prime, -4, -1. And D prime, -2, -3. Alright, let's see if we can come up with a rule for reflecting in the x change the x. Reflection in y, change the x. You see how they're not the same? Reflection in the y, what changed was our x. Our x became negative. So any point x, y, if we're reflecting it in the y, your x is going to change. Alright, let's try this last example. Example number 5. It is the same quadrilateral as in example 4. So go ahead and label it. And oops, 3, -2. And where is our line of reflection? Our line of reflection is the equation y = x, which is this right here. Alright, so we had 2 formulas before. There's a formula for flipping in the line y = x. That formula says any point x and y, if you're reflecting in the line y = x, your points just switch places. So let's look if that is true. Let's plot A prime. Well, A prime, if I flip these, it's still going to be the same point, which makes sense because it's on the line of reflection. Let's try B prime. Flip places, so it's the point 2, 3. Let's graph 2, 3. 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's try C prime. Swap places, so it's the point -1, 4. So -1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's try D prime. Switch places. That's -2, 3. Right there. Hey, it does look like it just flipped over that way. So excellent. Make sure you know these rules for reflections. Memorize them.